Good day to one and all. This is Dr. Sivaraman of iknowindices.com. I'll be presenting now the Asian Session Live Market Analysis and the Forecast webinar for the week 13th to 17th of March. Today we are on 13th of March. So for coming from today, the coming 5 days, how the market is expected to behave. Before that, I like to recall with regard to my Friday webinar, namely the review of the forecast and also the spike trade call before and after that of the non-farm payroll. I was explaining that the players, for want of volume, they have been making the sideways move, and then finally after that of the non-farm payroll, they started making the USD weakening move in the market. And this week again, after the FOMC, they are expected to make very aggressive gaining moves in the case of Euro and GBP. So that is what they are going to do in the market. So all the data released, they will try to use it as a trigger time, and they are expected to make more aggressive US dollar weakening move in coming days. Then we will be able to understand after that of the yearly trend reversal, keeping the market at a lower level and accumulating the buy positions. They continue to gain the levels to book profit. After doing several months of churning, that is, they drop and buy, gain and book profit, again drop and buy, gain and book profit. When they do several times, then such profit is being added to that of the high level buys, so that even though they buy it at a higher level, their average buy cost will be less than that of the market. As a result, whenever they want, in the event of any knee-jerk reaction, they can exit out of the positions without any loss. Since they deployed huge quantity of money and they do not want to have any chance to lose the money, that is why you come across the market manipulation is of this nature. So consistently they earn money. So we cannot trade against them. We can only trade along with them to make profit from the other market. For that, we need to read their intentions and trade along with them. That is what I try to envisage and try to do it successfully. And I'm just here to give you my trading system so that you will be able to follow it and make use of in your accounts. So my trading system consists of the derived forecast, which I derive it using a scientific algorithm, a sequential statistical analysis, by which I'm in a position to derive in what way the market is expected to make the move, either the US dollar weakening move, US dollar gaining move, or mixed move. So once we understand that, then predominant of the uncertainty is reduced. Then we will be able to fine-tune the forecast by doing the market reading, so that we'll be able to estimate what could be the low, so where then we can take a buy position, and then later on we try to book profit when they quickly gain the level. And also, as human, we always envisage that the market can go against us if we have not done the studies properly, or if there is any knee-jerk reaction in the market, then suddenly the market can make the other way move. So in order to limit the risk for such unexpected eventuality, we use the trading strategy. Whatever be the forecast, we try to use it. Ultimately, the trading strategy alone will be able to help you to consistently earn money from that of the market. But unfortunately, most of the analysts, they fail to talk about the trading strategy. They only focus on that of the forecast. And in the event if the forecast goes wrong, they simply say that stop out. But they are recommending wide stops sometimes. And in the event if such stops are being triggered, then you will find the account will be wiped up. If there are 2-3 trades consequently, if they are being stopped out, then you find the traders become demoralized and they fail to follow any particular system. So we need to address that particular issue instead of telling simply that market means risk and the past performance does not guarantee the future. All those disclaimers are fine, but when it comes to actual trading, such disclaimers are not going to help. And you find that the traders lose money in wrong trade. They really face the problem. So we need to understand that anybody who earns in a hard way and try to deploy the fund into that other market in order to make some extra money so that they can use it to clear some debts or meet some expenses, etc. So not for fancy, the traders come to the trading. And some of the traders, they have just failed in a job seeking process, or they have been given the pink slip sometimes. Then in that gap time, they try to trade and try to support the family. In the process, they bet some small money, and the big players are merciless. They try to take away their equity by making all cunning moves. And it is really a sin. The players do not understand that. So ultimately, you will come across those who go hand in hand with that of the players without being aware of it or being supported by the other players, and such people will definitely face the consequences. And you know that it will be the curse from that of the various traders who have just lost the money because of the misguidance of many of the analysts. So as trader, try to understand that the market is being manipulated. It is a manipulated, man-made market. In such a market, we need to read the intentions of such manipulators. Only then we will be able to really see profit-making opportunities in the market, because the players create the market sentiment and act against that of the traders. And you know that on Friday, when the non-farm payroll was more than expected, the players continue to gain the level. Their intention is to gain the levels in the case of the other majors. And even though the data was positive to US dollar, many have expected the US dollar to gain, but the players have done a different type of move in order to trap the traders. So reading the intention is vital rather than trying to make extensive study about that of the non-farm payroll. What was that in last year and this year, when it could go up, when it could trigger the interest rate decisions. All those things are sheerly academic. But a trader needs to understand how the players are going to use the trigger time and try to make the moves in the market. Now the forecast for the week. It is the second week of March. So monthly trending time is expected, and the market is expected to make the swing and rise move. So they will make initially the week beginning false move on Monday, 13th of March today. They could make the downward move during the European session and then continue to gain the level. And tomorrow they are expected to make sideways move during that of the Japanese session and then rise during European US session. And on 15th, they are expected to pretend as if the market is going to fall before that of FOMC, and then subsequently they are expected to gain big in the market. Then on Thursday, they are expected to make a higher level profit booking and induce the long holders who buy after that of the rise to induce them to liquidate the long positions before making further rise. This is what normally happens in the market. Those who enter buy position after the rise, or those who enter sell position after the drop, invariably lose money in the market, because the players know very well that will be the normal tendency of the trader. They think that, okay, now the market trend is visible, trend is our friend, so we will try to take a buy after the rise. Then the players try to trap them. And some people call it as a breakout trade. And all those things the players know very well. And from such traders, when they commit huge positions, they invariably trap and earn good profit from such traders. And that is why you find many of the analysts, they stopped giving the breakout trades, because last several years, I've seen in many of the webinars, the analysts used to give the breakout trade, and they have stopped recommending that, because invariably they found that the players are targeting such traders. So the best way to trade is buy low and sell high, or book profit at a high level. And for that, we need to use the reference level as the initial lows and the highs set for the day. And from there, if we try to trade, we'll be able to really understand how the players are making a downward stop and below that of the initial low, or upward stop and above that of the initial high, and continue to make either way moves in the market. So they punish on either side the traders who enter late. So we need to understand when to enter. If you do the session-wise trade, you can follow simply the forecast and understand. So suppose if they are making that slide, then try to buy during the start of the European session on Tuesday. Then they will be able to gain the levels and you will be able to book profit. Plan your trades accordingly. So during the slide buy and during that of the quick rise, book profit. Then you will be able to see that your equity builds up. So ultimately, I'm interested in you people recover the loss and also try to build up some more equity and quit trading, because this is the place wherein the players continue to trap. And from 1999, 2000, I've been seeing so many traders have come and gone, and many of them have lost money and they quit trading. But I do not want you to do that way. Instead, you earn money and quit trading, because here, in the name of speculation, you come across traps again and again. And there are several methods by which you can positively work hard and earn money. And that will be able to really help you to sustain your lifestyle. So they are expected to make the swing and rise move till Friday, and look for the slide moves and book profit. And you can probably save this page or just take a printout, the screenshot, and then try to follow it during that of the sessions, and enter during that of the slide and book profit during that of the rise. So follow that as a simple basic trade, buy low and sell high, rather than trying to buy after the rise and trying to sell after the drop. Now the range in which the currencies are expected to swing in this week, Euro could swing from that of 1.0675 to 1.10 level, and GBP, they have been holding it in order to gain the level in the case of Euro GBP cross. For the trend reversal time, and now they will continue to gain both. And you can see that Euro and GBP are showing positive net change. All along till last week, you would have noticed Euro was showing positive net change, GBP was showing negative net change, but now they changed it. So that indicates that the players want to make the USD weakening move in all currencies to start with. It could go to 1.2675 level. And in the case of yen, they could set the low as 113 and 116.25 could be the high. They could make one extended upward stop and start dropping it. When Euro and GBP are gaining, they will quickly gain the level in the case of USD yen, so that the yen crosses will make a sudden jump, and then they book profit with regard to the buys what they have done last week, and then continue to make the slide later on. Then in the case of CHF, again, they are expected to make a high level consolidation and continue to make the slide below that of the parity this week and next week. Then Canadian dollar, they are done around 1.35 area, the high level consolidation with upward stop. And again, they will try to make a high level consolidation, induce the traders to take long position, thinking that technically it is being supported around 1.34, and then later on they will breach and come down. In the case of Australian dollar, from 75 level, quickly they will gain it to 76 and 77 and hold, and then start gaining to that of 78 level in this week. Coming to that of the market reading, you can read their intentions very clearly. Now, Euro set the initial low as 1.0678, which has not been breached, and the initial high was 1.0701. They just breached and went up to 1.0705. Then in the case of GBP, 1.2156 is the low, 1.2180 is the high. They just breached and went up to 89 and holding high. Then in the case of yen, 114.69 is the low. They just breached the low and came down to 65. And the high is 114.92. If you see that, they are not making contrarian move. So we have to understand that and accordingly take positions. Any pullback in yen, when they gain the level after a brief downward stop, and they will quickly gain the level and make an upward stop, and before making a slide in the case of USD yen, at the time take sell positions. In the case of CHF, 1.0086 is the low. They just breached, came down to 75. And 1.0114 is the high, which is intact. Then the case of Canadian dollar, 1.3447 was the initial low. They just breached and came down to 1.3443. The high is 1.3477, which is not breached. So here again, you can understand that they are just breaching the low and coming down. In the case of Australian dollar, 75.34 is the low, 75.76 is the high. They are not breached the low or the high and holding it, because they are briefly handling the commodity crosses by breaching the low in the case of USD CAD and not breaching the high in the case of Australian dollar. So that when Euro and GBP are rising, Australian dollar is not rising, we'll come across that the commodity crosses also briefly weaken. So they try to hold within the range and try to make swings in the market, and slowly they are expected to make more visible US dollar weakening move. So from that of January, we know that they have been continuously doing the US dollar weakening, US dollar gaining move, and people were thinking that US dollar is the king. But I was telling you that it is only a sleeping giant which will wake up for a brief time and again it will go to sleep. So here you find that the situation has come after accumulating all the buy positions in the case of other majors. The players are expected to slowly gain the levels and book profit in other majors of the accumulated buys. Now the recommended trades. So during that of the gap time or during that of the European session, they will try to take out the stops below that of the low and go up. At that time, you can take a buy, and then slowly they will gain. In the case of GBP, small dip is a great buy opportunity, and then they are expected to gain more level aggressively. Then in the case of yen, they could make a brief upward stop and above that of the initial high, watch and take sell position, then they will come down drastically in the case of USD yen. Now, the daylight saving system is on in US from yesterday, Sunday, 12th of March. So as a result, you find the Americans turn the clock 1 hour ahead so that they will be able to save the time. So instead of the earlier 9 o'clock when the market starts, or 9:30 when the market starts, it will be 8:30. Actual time will be 8:30, but their clock will show 9:30. Then the market will start. So that is why they save 1 hour of day, because the day starts early after that of the winter. So this is called daylight saving system. This is a common practice in countries wherein there is a severe winter and the sun is not seen for a longer duration during the winter, and which is seen early during that of the summer. So you find that in the case of US, Europe and Australia, you find the daylight saving system functions. Now in the case of US, daylight saving system is started from today in the market. So as a result, you find still in Europe, it is daylight saving system is off till 26th of March. So another this week and next week, there will be the regular time in the market. Afterwards, you'll find daylight saving system will be on in Europe also. Till such time for 2 weeks, you will find there is a change with regard to the timings. I have mentioned the timings in red, which are the altered timings of the current system. Namely, the European session will get over by 13 GMT. So a session timing will be reduced by 1 hour. Then you find the mid-European session will be from 9:30 to 11:30. Then late European will be 11:30 to 13 GMT. Then 13 to 13 GMT will be the gap time. Then 13:30 to 15 GMT will be the early US session. Then 15 to 19 GMT will be the late US session, sorry, mid US session. Then 19 to 20:30 GMT will be the late US session. Then 20:30 to 0030 of next day will be the gap time before the start of the market the next day. So these are all the changes which I have marked it in red. Hope you are able to understand. When the daylight saving system is on in US, these timings get altered. They are preponed. And once Europe also follows daylight saving system, you'll find the 30 minutes gain will be seen in the start of the European session. It will start by 7:30 GMT. At that time, the Japanese session will get over by 7 GMT. And 7 to 7:30 GMT will be the gap time, and 7:30 onwards up to 30 GMT will be the European session. So that is how the session timings are altered by that of the players depending upon the daylight saving system. It is nothing to do with that of the actual daylight saving system, because the bank's opening and the closing are being used by that of the players for making such moves in the market. And whenever the banks are active, the players have to lie low. And whenever the banks are not active, they will try to play all tricks in the market. If you got any doubt, you can ask me the questions in the FXstreet Forexlive video window. So I'll be able to see those questions and answer those questions. Then Wednesday, 15th of March, I'll be giving the Tracking the Forex Market Together webinar part 1 and part 2 during that of the European and the US sessions. Then I'll come back on Friday and give you the review part of the webinar, Asian Session Live Market Analysis and the Forecast. If there is any question, kindly ask me. Santosh. What is the midday time? Is it 12 noon or 12:30? No. See, as long as those respective countries are concerned, the midday will be 12 noon only. No change in that for them. As far as our market timings are concerned, we follow the GMT time. So every country, they follow the local time. Okay, their local time and their 12 GMT, 12 local time will be the noon, like any other country. So the GMT time is the universal time. This universal time is followed irrespective of the country base. Thereby, we will be able to track the market all 24 hours. So there is no morning and the evening, midday and the evening as far as GMT time is concerned. Hope you are able to understand that. Any lunch break for European and US session? See, Forex market is 24 hours, no break. Even the gap times or no breaks, the market continue to swing. It is not like stock market. You should be able to understand that. Then question from YouTube. Euro will continue to go higher? Yes, Euro is expected to go further higher in coming days. Now, all along we are seeing till that of the non-farm payroll, they have been making sideways move. And now onwards, you will come across, they will make very distinct upward move in the case of Euro. Another question. They try to weaken US dollar in the face of apparent rate hike. See, they can give any sort of attribute. Ultimately, what is more important for us is whether they are going to rise or drop. If they are going to rise, then we will take a buy position and book profit. If they are going to drop, then we will take sell position and wait for the drop to book profit. That is the basic requirement of a trader. So simply talking whether the rate hike is going to be influencing the rise or the any other factor is going to influence the drop, etc. We need to read the intentions from that of the market moves rather than indirectly. Invariably what happens, they guide us to follow the indirect method and they do the direct method. So let me tell you very honestly, the richest of the richest in the world are the players. And you know that once they become richest, they don't apply their mind or they don't toil with intelligence to earn money from that other market. So they use only a simple direct method, cunningness. So they ask every other person to follow a different method and they follow a direct method. So if you follow the direct method, we can read their intentions very clearly. So in what way, when the non-farm payroll was more than expected, the data, How come they can rise zero and GBP? At that time, what they had done, simply discounted non-farm payroll. They said that there could be a rate hike. These are all nothing but twist. They try to give it to fool the traders. If you try to follow that again and again, you will be fooled. You will be spending all your energy and time only on that. Then change. So you are expecting the US dollar to be weakened further in the phase of apparent. Yes, they are going to weaken it. US dollar is going to weaken for another 2 months. So no more question. Any other question, please? If there are questions, I am willing to answer to those questions. So I given the weekly forecast and make use of it and try to see that you are able to earn nicely the money from that other market. And those who have been following for several months, what I am giving it in this one, Asian Session Live Market Analysis webinar, they know very well that it is a reliable forecast, and I am not expecting any return from you other than you earn good money from that other market, and thankful to God. I'll come back on Wednesday and give the next okay. So I take this opportunity to thank FXstreet for the facilities provided to present the webinar. I'll come on Wednesday and give you the Tracking the Forex Market Together webinar, explaining how exactly we can do the trades in the market without any ambiguity, without taking unlimited risk. And we will take only limited risk and use it for either way trading opportunity in the event if the market hedges our position due to some quick reactions, so that we are least bothered about the rumor or any attribute or a data release, etc. We consistently earn money from that other market. If you shy away from the market without understanding the truth, then you will find the market will be a mystery, and you will always say that avoid taking positions before that of the data release and conserve the equity, etc. But in the process, you find those who conserve the equity and they are not taking optimal risk, and they try to enter late in the market and later on suffer. Instead, you be an opportunity trader, read their intentions and try to learn it in a demo trading platform, so that you'll be able to understand, okay, the system really helps you. Then later on, you'll be able to really make consistent profit in real trading account. Wish you all the best in your trades. See you on Wednesday.